Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And boy, oh boy, things are changing. It's amazing how fast things are changing. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Fox News has millions more viewers than any other rival, and did it play hardball to get there? Well, I know the mainstream media, other outlets, including CNN and MSNBC, and they all tried to tank Fox News or gaslight people into thinking if you watched Fox News, you were some far-right fringy, as you used to call them.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The fringies.
The fringies.
Yes.
The fringies.
The fringies are on both sides, but yes, I forgot about the fringies.
And
yes.
the reality is, is that there's a whole lot of red on the map these days, and a lot of people, even if they weren't broadcasting it, probably did watch Fox News, Newsmax, OAN, all these other talking head networks, and they just weren't saying it because they didn't want to get into a fight with their progressive in-laws or whatever.
I think what was happening was people feel disenfranchised because they listen to the other network, like the CNNs and the MSNBCs or MSN Now or whatever the hell they're calling it, and all that. They listen to these places, and they all kept saying one thing when the reality was something else. And they kept people feel like they've been, misled because they were told that that Harris was going to win the landslide, and they were told that all this stuff about abortion rights that wasn't true and all this other stuff. And then if you'd asked anybody in the middle, they could have told you that you're full of crap. And we kept saying, you're not actually talking to the everyday people. And I think what happened was they just got drove away. So when the people that were listening lost, they're like, well, we can't trust you anymore. So who was right, Fox? We're going to go listen to them.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this because they just won their carriage dispute with YouTube. YouTube can't really afford to lose them. And the Fox channels are some of the most viewed streams on all of YouTube now. It's a very different landscape because before there was talk that they were trying to we need to shut down Fox News because they're a bunch of liars and da-da-da. Like, look, they're a company, right? They're a for-profit company. But we've even got this guy. This is John Malone, who works at Warner Brothers Discovery. And he's even saying that, yeah, the problem with CNN is they're too biased and they're out of touch with where the country actually is right now. And it's a huge problem, which is why their viewership is declining.
Now, to be fair, I do think Fox News can be biased also.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I know, though, this is kind of thing people are talking about. They'll cover stuff that the mainstream media won't cover. Like, they'll cover things and they'll give more information that other places aren't covering because they don't want to cover it because it goes against their narrative. And Fox will cover it. And a lot of times when things go on, you'll look for other places you can't see any mention of it, but you'll find it over there. And is it true that Fox kind of leans to the right? Yes, just like any other place does. But if you look at the top of that article, did you see that Newsmax is suing them?
Yeah.
Newsmax filed a lawsuit because they said that the Fox News giant blocks competitors by coercing pay TV operators, threatening steep financial penalties if they add Newsmax. This sounds like a Disney move.
I was going to say, how is this any different from what Disney's doing? Right. I mean, it's and again, they're a for-profit organization.
Yeah, but I don't think you should be disallowing anybody else to have competitors because I guess Newsmax is kind of in more. From my understanding, it's more in the center, right?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
So here's the thing: people
don't watch
think
any of these places, honestly.
We talk about the news, we talk about whatever, but do I spend a lot of time watching any talking heads outside of YouTube or podcasts or Rumble or whatever? No. I really don't. I just think it was so weird to see for the longest time that you couldn't let a Fox News or a Newsmax or an OAN coexist and give people the option of watching them. You had to completely try to take them out of play, completely discredit them. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're dealing with another right-wing outlet or a left-wing outlet. It's business, and we're talking massive amounts of advertiser revenue. So they're going to throw shit at each other, even if they're on the same side, quote unquote.
To the point you're saying about you weren't allowed to watch things because they were considered conservative. That was part of the problem. That's part of the reason these places are getting in trouble now with people is because they had such a stranglehold on it that it was like the more you tighten the grip, more slip through your fingers kind of situation. It's like that because they felt like they were being, told they only could watch this stuff, and as they squeezed harder, they chased more people the other way because they just kept pushing people, and I think a lot of people just got tired of it.
Yeah. And yeah, I think some of it's like protest watching, or protest voting. Like, well, we're not going to do this again, so we're going to vote for the guy I didn't like last time. But you know what? I'll put up with him this time. Better than this. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
We do not work for Fox News. We do not work for Newsmax.
No.
We work for ourselves. If you'd like to help support us, support Geeky, go out to Kickstarter. Geeky Sparkles presents Glow and Ghouls retro enamel pins. She's working toward 12,000. We got 7 days ago. Yeah, that's pretty good for pins. That's pretty impressive.
And they're actually the pin that's going to be, we're going to add it here shortly, is
a Geeky pin.
The Geeky Witch pin, and it will glow in the dark.
Yes,
and it'll be available. You can buy that. Are you doing it as an add-on, or can you just buy it specifically?
I think I'm going to do both. Some people
so if you just want that pin, you can buy that pin. If you want to add it to your to your order, you can add it to the order.
Yeah, so I think we're going to do it that way. But these pins do glow in the dark. They all have glow in the dark elements. We're finalizing the designs right now. We want to get them flipped in time for Halloween, so we're hoping to be able to do that. We've worked with these pin partners for a while. We've done several batches through these guys.
Yeah, so there you go.
So there you go, guys. Check it out on Kickstarter. Back to the news. All right, so Newsmax filed a lawsuit claiming that Fox blocks competitors by coercing pay TV operators, threatening steep financial penalties if they had Newsmax. But again, this is the same complaint that we had from like every other network. Like if you carry CNN, you can do, you know what I'm saying? They all,
Disney especially,
So they said Newsmax's spat with Fox over right-leaning viewers erupted into a high-stakes clash on Wednesday when
so they do lean right.
Yep. When the upstart right-wing cable news channel sued the legacy media outfit for allegedly violating antitrust laws, opening another front in the battle of the legality of tying and bundling. But again, see also Disney. This is not a right or left thing. This is a corporate thing. This is what they do. Newsmax alleges Fox leverages its control of must-have channels to strong-arm distributors into unfair terms. It points to a coordinated behind-the-scenes campaign to suppress growth of the network that's inflated the price of news. Well, YouTube paid it.
Yeah. and like I said, see also Disney.
See also Disney. I mean, again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's business.
Not a political, it's not like a one-sided thing here.
They said Fox's campaign to stunt Newsmax's business has delayed for almost a decade Newsmax's growth in pay TV distribution. Well, if you're a competitor and you've got the means at your disposal to take them out, people are going to do some dirty shit. I mean, it's Rupert Murdoch we're talking about, right? I mean, come on. The guy, the one villain in the James Bond movie, the one that created the news, was based on Rupert Murdoch. I'm just putting it out there. The guy is very, very savvy. This is the same guy who got Disney to overpay for his garage sale shit and then turned around and bought Tubi for a song and then turned that into...
I want to point out again, as soon as that happened, you said, he's going to use it. It's smart. He's using Disney's own money to go against them.
Yeah.
And now Tubi is a valid competitor. Well, skipping all the lawsuit stuff, the part you want to talk about too is that Fox News has been the highest rated news in the U.S.
Yeah, so this is the big news, right? For decades, Fox has been at the highest rated news channel in the U.S. for the first quarter of 2025. It averages 2.2 million viewers on weekdays, more than double that of ESPN. Oh, Disney.
Well, that's sports, not news.
More than 13.6 million people tune into its live coverage or tuned in live coverage of the election. After the loss of Trump in 2020, upstart challengers like Newsmax and One American News looked to woo the MAGA base.
Right. Because Fox took a hit then because they called it a little too soon, from my understanding. And then it turned out to go the other way.
Then there's a Dominion thing. That was a Newsmax thing where they were accusing Dominion that they had to settle that. I think Fox did too. But they said the lawsuit claims Fox News viewership is so big because the company kept out rivals. Of course they did. Like I said, it's Rupert Murdoch. What did you? And they're talking about Fubo at Disney and Fox and how this is going to go down. But basically, what's interesting to me, and that's really what I'm looking at here, is that we've got the mainstream Hollywood media Hollywood Reporter, coming out and saying, yeah, Fox is by far the top news network. We're talking above
And
CNN.
by a lot. And
By
they're
a
kicking
lot.
your ass.
It's not even close.
Hollywood Reporter is admitting it.
So for years, again, they gaslit the country into thinking that if you watched Fox News, you were on the fringe. It was only tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. CNN and MSNBC, they were the bastions of truth. ABC News, that was the bastion of truth. And then we're finding out as all of the numbers start to come out and as we see consolidation in sales and yada, 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 cancellations, that the audience, the makeup of the country is not what you thought it was, because all the information, all the data was coming from the left and right coasts. It was coming. Well, yeah,
they'll cherry pick the data, to be like what they want. Like we were asking voters, they don't mention it's in the most extreme leftist or the extreme right location ever. That when they're polling people, but asking anyone, they would have told you that Trump was likely going to win because they were just sick to death of the last 4 years and a lot of the things that were going on.
Yeah. So it's like there's a lot of red, and where's the one? This is the one that makes the rounds the most. That's 2020. Man, 2020 even was like big, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's a lot of red on the map.
It's the cities that flip it. It was funny though, because what Pennsylvania, we're from, goes blue all the time, which is a whole other story. But they actually flipped it red. And it's because we had the cities, and the cities are definitely go to the blue. But there are so many people in the country, even the Amish were coming in to vote.
Yeah.
And they flipped it.
Yeah. There we go. There it is. This is making the rounds because why are things swinging back so hard the other direction? It's because the blue pushed too hard for years and people got tired of it. So yeah, does it make sense that Fox News is the most watched cable news network? Absolutely. It makes sense. And I know just by their YouTube numbers, which are astounding, they're doing really well. Anybody that's associated with Fox News is doing really, really well. Now, this is interesting. This kind of slipped. We'll wrap up with this. This is John Malone. He's one of the top investors, I guess, in Warner Brothers Discovery. He's the boss of Liberty Media, and he popped up on CNBC, and he was talking about CNN. He said, once the obligatory promotional part of the interview was out of the way, the conversation grew more interesting. Conservative co-host Joe Kernan criticized the state of the news media as being biased against Trump and pressed Malone for his take, especially on CNN, which he had infamously skewered years ago. Do you think CNN has changed to the point where you're seeing actual journalism now? Do you see it across mainstream media anywhere? He said no. He was praising Rupert Murdoch for how Fox News is operated. He did allow for the fact that CNN has great journalists, but he lamented that those who work in the news industry tend to be progressives personally, and it's impossible to separate that sort of personal opinion structure from the way they cover the news. And that is coming from a guy who owns a huge stake in CNN.
I think he hit the nail on the head. I think that's why people are turning away from it, because it's a lot of things masquerading as news, but it's just their opinion. And that's what I'm saying. They won't cover things that are newsworthy if it goes against, their viewpoint. And there's a problem there because, and I would argue, on either side, it shouldn't be that way. You should you should be about telling the news and trying to find the truth first. And then your personal biases are your own personal biases. That's not your job. Your job is to tell people news, let them form an opinion, not you take your personal biases and tell them, that's the news. Because you're not like a blog, you're not like a YouTuber or a commentator. You are supposedly a journalist. You're supposed to be searching for the truth. And you're not.
There used to be a difference between the talking heads, the anchormen and women, and the people who did the commentary, like the Andy Rooneys or the whatever. They had an opinion show. You had Larry King, who was doing basically an early podcast, right? And those guys, they were allowed to have more opinions because it was understood this is a conversation they're having, or they're talking about their opinions on things. If you're just talking about like what is going on in the world and in the country, you're not supposed to interject. But he said that Zaslav, I guess, tried to get them to tone it down. And he said that he was unable to have a meaningful impact. and they can't help themselves. And this is what he told the New York Times.
On the editorial nature of the organization, they can't help themselves.
Yeah. He said they can't help themselves. So what you get is a left-leaning anti-Trump news service. And again, this is coming from a guy who owns a huge stake in Warner Brothers, who's even
right.
like, yeah.
And now, does everything Trump do, great and right? Probably not.
No.
Is it everything doom and gloom and terrible? No. And that's what's happening. And Hollywood, especially, is desperately trying to like scrape anything they can off this, and it's not working. People are over it. You can't bully them into submission anymore. They don't want all the bias, and unfortunately you really can't go anywhere without getting bias. There's no more just here's what happened, form your own opinion.
Yeah. Those days were over. And I don't know if people want that anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if people want that anymore. People want confirmation bias.
Yeah, but then that doesn't, you don't grow, you don't learn anything.
Nobody wants to grow. They want to be entertained and they want to know they're right. And they want to dunk on the other side.
Watch us or watch YouTubers. If you want the truth, you should be able to watch the news. That's the problem. So are we going to wrap this up?
We're going to wrap it up. There we go, guys.
Are you not entertained?
You're not crazy. A lot of people are watching right-wing news. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.